chemune am segula boi chala boi chala Dodi likat kala yada dai b'nei Shabbat kabila likat dodi likat kala yada dai b'nei Shabbat kabila Lecha dodi lecha talai da b'nei Shabbat nikabela lecha dodi lecha talai da b'nei Shabbat nikabela Yetkada v'yetkada shmei rabba Talmad v'rachite v'yamlech malchute B'chayechon v'yamechon v'chayech chol Beit Yisrael Agala b'agala man karib Yahei shmei rabba mevarach Olam ulal me'amaya Yet barach v'yishtabach v'yitbahar v'yitrumam v'yitnaseh v'yitada v'yitaleh v'yitala shmei d'kudeshah Le'ela min kol virchata v'yishivata Tushbichata v'nechemata Damiran be'alma v'himeru We read together, blessed, praised. Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher bidbaro ma'ariv aravim B'chochma poteach sharim Uvitvanah b'shanei itim Umachalif et hazmanim Umsader et hakochavim B'mishmiroteihem barakia kirtzono Borei yom v'layla Golel or mipnei choshech V'choshech mipnei or Ma'avir yom u'mevi layla Mavdil bein yom u'bein layla Adonai tzvaot shemo El chai v'kayam Tamid yimlo chaleinu leolam ba'ed Baruch atah Adonai Ha'ma'ariv aravim Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad For those who have been hearing a rewriting of the V'ahavta in English over the past couple of weeks and have found it extremely meaningful, I have made copies which are on the piano, and at the end of the service, if you would like to take one, feel free. I don't normally interrupt between Shema and V'ahavta, as you know, but I have rarely ever come upon a translation or a restatement of a prayer that accrued as much response as this. And so I have made copies for those who would like to take it home, who would like to read it. It's an extraordinary piece of writing. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi betzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha beveitecha u'v'lechtecha v'aderech u'v'shach b'cha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam la'ot al yadecha v'hayu latotafot bein einecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'vish arecha למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Standing on the parted shores of history, Chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, nora tehilot, o sefele nora tehilot, o sefele. Malchutecha uvanecha Bokei hayam lifnei Moshe uMiriam Ze Eli anu ve'ameru Adonai imloch l'olam va'ed. V'ne'emar kifad Adonai et Yaakov u'kalol miyad chazak mimenu. Baruch atah Adonai Ya'al If you find joy in Torah, you'll sit with the sages and drink their words, your soul refreshed like a tree by streams of water. Wisdom will follow you all the seasons of your life, celebration in the sunlight, consolation in the night. Your roots will grow deep. You will anchor yourself in courage and hope. You'll savor and cherish the true work of your hands. Your passion for life will not wither nor fade. They'll treasure the lessons you leave behind. Remember what you taught in word and deed. And those who come after you will honor your path. Open up your eyes. Teach us how to live. Fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we know that you are one. Open up your eyes, teach us how to live, fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we know that you are one, and we know that you are one. And we know that you are one. Hashivenu Adonai Eloheinu Lishalom Ha'amidenu Shomereinu L'chaim. Hashivenu Adonai Eloheinu Lishalom Ha'amidenu Shomereinu L'chaim. Ufrosh aleinu Sukkot Shilomecha. Ufrosh aleinu Sukkot Shilomecha. Hashivenu Adonai Eloheinu Lishalom Ha'amidenu Shomereinu L'chaim. L'chaim. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. And on the seventh day, God sat and reflected. As we open the doors for the Amidah, we call on Sandra Lippman and Sue Schwartz. Adonai sifetai tiftach ufi agite ilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Ha'yibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei hakol, v'zocher chastei avot v'imahot, u'mevigula livnei v'neihem, l'ma'an shemo be'ava, melech ozer u'moshiach u'magen, Baruch atah Adonai, magen Avraham, v'ezrat Sarah, atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol ata rav le'Hoshia, Mechaker chayim b'chesed, Mechaye hakol b'rachamim rabim, Tomech noflim b'rofei cholim, U'matir asurim, U'mekayem Emunato Yishenei Apa Yichamocha Ba'al Gevurot Umido Melach Melech Memit Umachayeh U'matzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman Ata L'achayot Hakol. Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh Hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh u'kadoshim b'chol yom yalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el ha'kadosh. Before you know what kindness really is, you must lose things. Feel the future dissolve in a moment like salt in a weakened broth. What you held in your hand, what you counted and carefully saved, all this must go so you know how desolate the landscape can be between the regions of kindness, how you ride and ride thinking the bus will never stop, the passengers eating and stare out the window forever. Before you learn the tender gravity of kindness, you must travel where the Indian in a white poncho lies dead by the side of the road. You must see how this could be you, how he too was someone who journeyed throughout the night with plans and the simple breath that kept him alive. Before you know kindness as the deepest thing inside, you must know sorrow as the other deepest thing. You must wake up with sorrow. You must speak to it till your voice catches the thread of all sorrows and you see the size of the cloth. Then it is only kindness that makes sense anymore. Only kindness that ties your shoes and sends you out into the day to mail letters and purchase bread. Only kindness that raises your head and raises its head from the crowd of the world to say, "It is I you have been looking for," and then goes with you everywhere like a shadow or a friend. We continue in silence. Jewish tradition encourages introspection and self-examination, cheshbon hanefesh, during the month of Elul as preparation for the days of awe. In Sephardic communities, this spiritual practice is observed with the aid of 8 penitential psalms, 17, 25, 32, 51, 65, 85, 86, and 102, which are recited on weekday mornings from the second day of Elul until the day before Yom Kippur. The blue pages in this book that follow contain verses from these psalms and poems that evoke the traditional themes of the Amidah. They are offered as aids to our practice of cheshbon hanefesh, the silence of the meditative Amidah can be a momentary withdrawal from community to achieve greater clarity. A prayer. Before the silent prayer, some slip the hood of their prayer shawls over their heads so that even among many worshipers, they are alone with God. Primo Levi wrote about the sadness of a cart horse shut between 2 shafts and unable even to look sideways. Let me be like those pious ones or that horse, so that even amidst a crowd, no other crosses the threshold of my dreaming. We dream of what a life could be if we allow it to happen. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amacha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amacha Tasim Le'olam. Ki ata melech adon v'kol ha'shalom. Ki ata melech adon v'kol ha'shalom. Shalom Al Yisrael Amacha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amacha Tasim Le'olam. V'tov b'einecha livarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amacha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amacha Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam. We spend a moment praying for a refuah shalema, complete healing for our members Arnalda Allwood, Vivian Berkman, Judy Bindman, Elizabeth Cooper, Lori Cooper, Cindy Goldman, Joe Greenwald, Doris Handel, Carol Kahn, Carol Mortman, Bill Schrag, Carol Siegel, Chuck Waldron. We also offer prayers to these family and friends of TBEI. Alexandra Barney, Dorit Chomer, Amy Connolly, David Dichter, Amy Eichenbaum, Miriam Gold, Ricky Leiter, Ashley McGregor, Cookie Romeo, Jackson T. Wynn II, Yitzchak Ben Beryl, and Beverly Ziv. If there are other names to be mentioned, I invite you to please rise and share them. Mi sheberach avoteinu mikor habracha le'imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Yisheberach imotenu mikor habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. Amen. If you look at the bima, you can see it is set for Yom Tif, Yom Tovim, Yom Tov, the High Holy Days, the High Hos, a whole litany of names. And you see that as an act of transition, we have the dress whites. I'm going to take just a minute to just clarify a couple of things. There is a tradition to mimic in the most positive of ways the ways that the priests in the temple in Jerusalem dressed for the High Holy Days. And that was to wear pure white, to signify holiness, some level of purity. And so it was the tradition. It's why brides wear white. It's a very similar sort of thing. And there are, within that tradition, other traditions. There are some who only do that on Yom Kippur. Only. There are some who do it throughout the holiday season, in other words, for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, and so they wear white. There are other things that they do specifically on Yom Kippur. They do not wear leather, because they don't want to remember something that's leather that would imply that it was connecting us to the ritual sacrifices. So they will wear a belt. They might use rope, but they won't use a leather belt. They will not wear leather shoes. They will wear sneakers. Certainly, when we were all younger, people would wear U.S. Keds because there was nothing leather on them. Nowadays, there are shoes that look like they have leather, but they don't. And so, if you choose to observe that, feel free. You just wear white. But please understand that that is a tradition, and that my uncle was a good humor man, and he dressed in white with a little bit of blue around. Please don't just think that I am my uncle. I'm not wearing the whites to mimic the good humor man, but the priests in Jerusalem. And it is something that, if it works and feels like a connective device to you, please feel free. The Reform movement now has opened up the doors to during the holiday season, wear it when you would choose to. In other words, Rosh Hashanah or Yom Kippur. But it is a tradition. It's not a way of dressing with insignificant meaning. So there's that. There is also something else on the Bima that needs just a teeny tad of clarification. For those of you who have really paid attention over the past 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, Len Epstein has sat up here to assist and to help us, to help me, to help my predecessors, I am sure, to stand in. He functioned as the honored position of Gabbai. The Gabbai of the congregation in Europe would be one who made sure that certain things were where they should be, that the ark doors were open, the ark doors were closed, helped people find their spot, actually spot checked whoever was reading Torah in case they got stuck or had a problem. And it was always considered an honored position. Now, if your family came from Europe, they might have called someone who held a position sort of kind of like that as the Temple Beadle. Not like John, Paul, George, Ringo, but the Beadle. And the Beadle was the one who did exactly what Len has done all these years, but not as much, and truthfully, not because he's here, not with the same level of importance, because Len helps keep the liturgy moving because he just knows what the service is. What you folks are not fully aware of is if there's no monitor or monitor screen for some reason, it doesn't matter to Len. He grabs a book or he just does it from memory. In any case, after some discussion, if you take a look at the Bima, Len has moved from the Gabbai's position to the Gabbai Gadol, to the great Gabbai. In other words, Len will be on the Bima as a statement of honor from this congregation for all he has done for this Bima, all he's done for me, because when I first came here, it was him who went through the service with me. So anything that got dropped, that you were upset about that it got dropped, talk to him. But he has sat up here. He still sings some pieces of pieces that I just constantly look. We sing them in the Aleinu. He adds 3 or 4 notes. I miss them when he goes away. So I imagine it's the voice of Len Epstein, our Gabbai Gadol. And so we just want you to know that he has moved what the Peter principle called by a horizontal arabesque. And if you don't remember the Peter principle, it suggested that all people rise within an institution or a business to their level where that's as far as they can go, and then you can't fire them. You can't get rid of them. They're the boss's daughter, so you can't fire her. So what do? You create another position, and you do the horizontal arabesque. You move them sideways, because they're not going to move up, and you can't push them out. So you push them to the side. That is not what has happened here, because I know if I need him, he is at my right hand. And we know that Moshe Rabbeinu, when he stepped aside from his position in front of the people, he rose to the right hand of God. I am not God. I am not Moshe Rabbeinu. I'm just a rabbi who is held up by the caring and concern and love of one guy who's here before I am every Saturday. Every Saturday. And we as a community, we as a congregation, and me, just me, owe him a debt that forever can never be repaid. But as of right now, we can state that that chair, as long as Len Epstein chooses to sit in it, is the chair that will rest with that position. And we are blessed and honored to have it for him. Now, did you pull out the Kiddush cup yet? What, are you just sitting all night? Okay. Okay, that works. Oh, Faith, it's your turn.
Shabbat Shalom. If you didn't receive your holiday tickets yet, let me know. Some people said they didn't get them, and it's not my fault. It's the mail's fault, because they were either given out or mailed. If you have a part to read, remember to bring it with you. There won't be copies available. Please get here early enough to sign in so that we know that you're here before the service begins. And don't forget the deadline for the breakfast is September 24th, this coming Thursday. On Sunday night at 6 o'clock, we're going to need a little help setting up the sanctuary for the holidays. We're going to have to put some chairs up here and move things around and put chairs for the choir. So if you can help, it's probably going to be real quick. Please talk to Ving so he could put together whoever wants to come here. And we don't have to do a whole lot, but we need to do that before Monday. We're also starting something new. There's a community effort to collect jars of peanut butter to be distributed to students in the local schools. There are flyers in the lobby explaining this program, and there'll be a bin in the lobby beginning Monday for us to donate peanut butter. And there's a community, it's being done in the Sunlight Community Church on Kashmir, that they're collecting the jars of peanut butter and they're adding other things so that kids have food to eat on the weekend, because it was discovered that a lot of kids were taking little bits of food and putting them away so that they could eat on the weekend because they didn't have schools to go to get food. We're going to have a couple of fundraisers coming up. On October 20th, we'll have brunch or lunch at Sarah's Kitchen in Tradition. On October 23rd, Brotherhood will have a dinner fundraiser at Texas Roadhouse. You have to pick up the flyers in the lobby. They need to be presented at the restaurants in order for the donations to be received. We're going to have a quarter auction on Tuesday, November 4th. On November 8th, we'll have our show with Shaboom, and we're still selling honey for the holidays. So pick up a flyer in the lobby and see what's going on. Shabbat Shalom.
I would suggest that on Yom Kippur, we choose to fast as a matter of conscience and religious continuity with generations past. Children don't get to make that choice. So I would suggest you could bring it on Rosh Hashanah, the peanut butter, which would be fabulous. But I would ask that you consider if everybody brought 1 jar of peanut butter on Yom Kippur, because we chose not to eat, these kids don't have that option. And I think it would be an amazing thing to feed someone else because we have chosen not to eat for the whatever period of time during Yom Kippur that we choose to do that. So give that some thought. I think this is an amazing thing, and consider it, please. As we move to open the Ark, we call on Jeff and Claire Crease. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon ha'kol, lateit gedula liotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kigoyei ha'aratzot, v'lo samanu kemishbechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, mishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech, Malchei Amlachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu, Shehu Teshamayim V'yoser Aretz, Umoshav Yikaro B'Shamayim Mima'al, Ushchinatu Zo, B'Gobe Miromim, Hu Eloheinu Ein Od, Emet Malkeinu Epes Ulato, Kakatu Bitorato, Viadata Yom Vashibota Elivavecha, Ki Adonai Hu Elohim, Bashamayim Mima'al, Ve'aretz, Mitachad ein od. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz. Yeh Adonai echad u'shemo Ushemo echad, Ushemo echad. On that day, Adonai will be one, and God's name will also be one. We remain standing as we remember. We also remember those taken by the hands of the oppressor. And we sadly announce the passing of Morris Chazen, brother of Bernie Chazen and brother-in-law to Linda. May his name be for a blessing. We send our condolences to the entire Chazen family. We also remember these yard sites observed during this past week. Harold Adler, Joseph Beauchamp, Stanley Beauchamp, Arthur Bizgia, Lillian Bloom, Mary S. Budalej, Lillian Kaplan, Frida Cornetta, Alan Fells, Ann Friedman, Bernard Honig, Nathan Caron, Helen F. Krolick, Lena Levy, Saul Lustig, Philip Nishampkin, Dr. Gary Oxman, Jenny Silver, Elizabeth S. Curtis, Max Weiner. Yit Gadal V'Yit Kadash Shmei Rabbah. Yed Beijus. Love his Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mavarach. Le'olam u'lamei maya. Yit barach v'yishtabach. Yit ba'ar v'yit ramam v'yit naseh. Yit hadar v'yit alev v'yit halal. Shmei t'kutsha. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tishbechata v'nechamata. Ta'amiron ba'oma v'yimru amen. Yehei shloma rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimaru amen. Oseh shalom v'yimromav. Huya aseh shalom. Aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimaru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'v'ratzon inchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh bereshit. Ki hu yom techila l'mikrai kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim. Ki banu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai Mikadesh HaShabbat. This one's good enough for the walk. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Blessed are you, Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who brings forth bread from the earth. Bless our lives, our children, and our families. Bless all of those who have lost their way. Bring peace to all who seek a world of beauty. Give blessings, God, to all these today. Amen, amen. May God bless this house with love. Amen, amen. May God bless this house. Amen. Shabbat Shalom.